All right, Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh. Baha Shem Yahweh Shah, Baha Shem Rachak Kodash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Whomever you may be, wherever you may be, Shalom, Yasharah, Shalom. All right, so I'm gonna play a small clip here. I believe the whole video was like 23, 4, 5, somewhere around there, give or take, minutes long. And it's from this guy, what's his name? Because I've done some videos on him before. Mike Adams from the what is it called? Health Ranger Report, something like that. I think he's supposed to be some kind of Christian pastor or whatever. And every once and again he can bring out some good talking points. Sometimes he's going off, but then sometimes he'll try to go into the scriptures, and most certainly he does. You know what they all do? They set the house on fire. All right, because privacy ain't it for these heathens. Okay. So what I recorded here, and you have to forgive the background, it's okay. Just this little 5-minute portion here. I don't think I've even watched the whole entire 20, odd something minute video, but just this portion here I want to play. All right, and we'll talk about it, all right, a little briefly, okay? In which I don't really have any scripture, so we'll see where the Spirit takes me. All right, so let's just play this first.
Were in his position, you would do the same thing. He's going to have to print. He's going to print trillions and trillions of dollars. And you may recall that over a year ago, I made a prediction that at some point, they'll be printing $1 trillion a quarter, and then $1 trillion a month, and then $1 trillion a week, etc. We are on that cycle. We are accelerating toward $1 trillion a month right now. And there's an event that's coming, a financial event, which is probably the CLO bankruptcies, the collateralized loan obligations affecting retailers. Like that whole thing is going to collapse.
And to put it in a nutshell, a financial collapse is what America is about to experience. Okay, you already see, jobs being taken away, and then they want to replace people's jobs with robots. So you don't think the American people are going to wake up and say, "Wait a minute, you told us that there were no jobs for us, but then the same jobs you took us from, robots are doing. So clearly we could have been doing these jobs." Human error. All right, you're not efficient enough. Okay. Then you see a lot of big, retail stores closing down, all right, all across the board. Hundreds of stores all across the states, okay? So these things are all prophetic, all right? Because America is slowly, it's like, which I don't recommend you doing that, okay? I'm just making it as an example. Like when you pour salt on a slug, you just kind of slowly see it, fizzle away, all right? Real gooey like. That's how America is right now, okay? It's slowly, it has a ton of salt, thrown in its open wounds, and it's just fizzling right now, okay?
That does, there will be mass bailouts of pension funds, and that will cost trillions of dollars. And so you're going to see, massive money printing. You're going to see rapid devaluation of the dollar, and you're going to see price inflation reflected at retail, with all kinds of, meat will get higher, eggs will go higher, gasoline will go higher, etc.
Now, all these things are already high. Rent goes up, gas goes up and down, up and down, up and down. All right, eggs, which is, eggs, I'm just tired of hearing about eggs, because people act like eggs are the only protein on the planet. Yeah, eggs are going up, but, okay, many other things you can get proteins from. Eggs ain't the last. Eggs are not the end of the world. But as you see people, they're shopping for these eggs. Oh, they've gone up so high, but they still buy them, all right? Okay, eggs, $8. Guess what? I ain't buying eggs, okay? And I mean, of course, that's just, other things are going to go up too, but I'm talking about, a carton of eggs, it's not worth my $8, all right? I could buy some other things. Maybe I could buy some canned things that'll last longer, or some fruits or whatever, all right? But you get my point. Eggs are $15, then I guess I'm not buying eggs. But people act like it's the end of the world because they can't buy eggs. But that's just one of many things that prices have risen up, okay? And, the average American sees it because it's affecting their pockets, but they don't understand why, okay? And even when they have a smidget of thought of why, it's always financially, of course it is, all right? But the deeper thing to that is it goes back to the prophecies of what the Lord is doing to America and planning to do to America, as the example of the slug we just talked about, right?
And the middle class is going to be absolutely destroyed by this. But eventually, although this could take years,
Yeah, and as far as the middle class, they're creating their class and then everyone else. That's what the elites are doing right now. They're creating their class and everyone else. There's no more middle class. There's no more low class, poor, whatever you want to put it. Everybody's in the same category, okay? Which I guess will be in the poor category, but you get my point, all right? There's still going to be certain levels, but everybody's going to be put in the same box. You either are here or you're there. And you're not there unless you're one of the 1%, all right? So, everybody's going to be down and out. That middle class dream is slowly being destroyed, okay?
I don't know the timing, but eventually the dollar is abandoned. Now, Trump may do that on purpose
Now, here's the thing when he gets into this, all right? Now, one thing I will say before we continue playing, all right, everybody keeps thinking like Trump is this, Trump is that. Trump is a puppet, okay? He has to do the bidding of the elites, and even the elites, all right, are doing the bidding of Satan on the left-hand side, and Satan is being controlled by the Heavenly Father, all right? But Trump is just a puppet. Yeah, he may be used to do certain things, but he's just a puppet. They make it seem like Trump, the way he talks, he makes it seem like Trump is drawing up all these plans. Trump has so much power to do this. Trump do this and that. And it's not really like that, all right? There's a behind-the-scenes thing going on here, all right? Both physically as well as in the spiritual realm, all right? There's a more behind-the-scenes thing going on.
Effort to try to launch a new parallel currency. This is my guess that, let's just call it the new dollar. I've mentioned this before. The new dollar might be backed by gold. That's kind of the only thing that makes sense. And the new dollar would have a digital form and a non-digital form at the same time, which is...
See, this is where I mentioned where he goes off, right? Okay, there's going to be a new dollar, and it's not going to be paper. All right, this dollar now is not even backed by any, gold standard or anything. And when you go into the digital, you're not going to need gold. Okay, everything's going to be digital. So to say that there's going to be a new dollar doesn't make sense, because if the current dollar is not working, all right, because all it is a piece of paper, okay? And I mentioned this once before. Imagine having to pay like the ancient days, according to weight, okay? So imagine having to pay for, I don't know, just a little bundle of apples, okay? A pound of apples. And you had to pay equivalent in the dollar weight. Do you know how many dollars that would be? You're probably paying $500 or more for just a sack of apples. So what did they do? What they did is print the same paper, backed by nothing, and put numbers on it. Okay, this one, you can buy things all the way up to $10 as long as it doesn't exceed. This one has a 20 on it. This one has a 5 on it. This one has a 1. This one has a 100. This one has a 50. You see? So they took the same worthless piece of paper and put numbers on them. And it's still what? The same worthless piece of paper backed by nothing. So it wouldn't make sense to make another dollar, which is still going to do the same thing. It's going to achieve the same goal. It's going to just cause more inflation. See? Furthermore, according to the prophecies, everything's going digital anyways. So for him to say there's going to be a digital dollar, he's spot on with that. But to say there's going to be a new dollar as in the paper form of it, now you're going off, all right? That's not according to the prophecy, you see? So let's keep playing.
It's the same as our current, currency systems. You have a digital form in it.
You see, he says same as our current currency system. But the current currency system is failing because it's not backed by anything, all right? People are scammed by dollar bills. But that's all they know, you see?
And then you have a cash form. Same thing with the new dollar, except the new dollar will be backed by gold. So why is this such a...
You see? So he's saying the new dollar is going to be backed by gold. Imagine that. Why is not the current dollar backed by gold? Imagine that. So I don't know where he got the idea of a new dollar from, but that's not according to, sound prophecy, man. It's not according to sound doctrine. Well, he's not even talking doctrine because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay? When he goes to the scriptures, he has no idea what he's talking about. This is the guy that tried to break down the book of Revelation and talked about, I forgot what the heck it was. It was so ridiculous. But I remember doing a video on it.
Smart move potentially for Trump, because it would mean that he could print the dollar to oblivion and pay off all the debts. pay off the national debt.
But that's not according to what the scriptures say. As a matter of fact, we're going to get that in Habakkuk. We'll let this play first. As a matter of fact,
Basically worthless dollars. And then launch a new currency at the same time that actually holds value and doesn't get counterfeited all the time because it's backed by gold. And of course, all the people who hold the debt of the old dollar would be screwed. And all the people holding old dollars or bank accounts in dollars or cash in dollars, etc., they would of course be royally screwed.
And that's the key thing that he said there, because that's going to push and cause people to actually want to deal with the system, the digital system. Oh, I'm going to pay my rent. I got a car note. Oh, my children. Oh, my wife said this. Oh, bills. Oh, I got a credit card, right? So your old dollars that you were saving up in the bank and your current dollars that you have now on hand, they're going to be worthless, okay? They're going to have to be transferred into digital currency, which is nothing but a bunch of ones and zeros on a computer system, okay? So, yeah, anybody dealing with the dollar, and when I say dollar, I'm really, speaking in general, it could be yens, euros, rubles, pesos, pounds, whatever your paper currency is now. It's going to be global, okay? It's going to be international, all right? Whatever your paper currency is will be done away with, and you will have to transfer to the digital system, see? And that's where they're going to trap a lot of people because they're going to be so hung on their money. They're not going to want to let the money go, you see?
There's no other way out of this. You can't just sit back and let the whole thing collapse into oblivion and have no alternative. You have to have an alternative system.
And that's the thing. They want things to collapse because they do have an alternative. It is the digital system. It is to set up the CBDC, all right, and to introduce the microchip. And that whole system together, now they now control you, see?
Now, some people might argue, well, you can shore up the dollar. No, you can't. You actually can't, because to do that, you would have to stop printing the dollar. And that would end the power of the federal government. The power to print, or, well, the Fed is printing and then loaning it to the government through the Treasury. But that power gives the United States tremendous military might, economic might, propaganda might, all these things that take money. Well, the money is printed, which means it's effectively stolen from the people. And they're not going to give up that power. At least not with the old dollar. They're going to continue to defend that power so they can print those dollars in whatever way they want. Now, remember that people who bought treasuries, or let's say overseas investors, overseas central banks, hedge funds, etc., they bought treasuries. They knew they were going to get paid back over time a certain amount of dollars. But there's no guarantee that those dollars have any specific value. Okay? See, this is the loophole. So Trump can print dollars to oblivion. He could just whip up $10 trillion tomorrow, or $36 trillion, actually, to pay back all the debt holders.
And they're already doing these things, man. Where do you think they're getting millions and billions of dollars to pay Ukraine or pay the state of Israel? Okay? You just think it's just coming out of thin air? Well, you guessed it, because it is. It's coming out of nowhere. Okay? They can pump a bunch of money. They can send out what they call the stimmies, right? Stimulus packages. Pump a bunch of money into the economy. It's only going to cause more inflation. All right? And people are going to do nothing but, spend the money up and send it right back to where they got it from. All right? Because they're going to buy a lot of unnecessary things. Okay? Go buy TVs and clothes and shoes and things of that nature. Pay a couple bills off and, splurge with the rest or whatever the case may be. They're going to waste the money and send it right back to the government anyways. So these elites have this plan laid out for a long time now. All right. Since they formulated the plan, they have been working up to it. So they understand, because they study these things. They understand how people are going to act and react, what they're going to do. Okay. And so on and so forth, based on studying people. All right. Studying the people, doing experiments on the people. Okay. So they're very familiar with what it is that a person would do. Okay. In whatever said given situation. Okay. So they've studied, how people react to money. Okay. There's been banks that have just, all of a sudden people wake up and they can't get their money out. Okay. So those things are taken down as data to record. Let's keep going.
Of United States debt. And what would happen if you printed $36 trillion overnight? The value of the dollar would collapse. It would go towards zero. But we wouldn't have defaulted on the debt, so to speak. I mean, we would have defaulted on the value of the currency, but we would have kept our word. Oh, we're going to pay you back in dollars. Guaranteed, you're going to get the dollars. You might not be able to do anything with them. That's the point. Same thing with pensions. Oh, you're going to get your pension payout. Oh, you're going to get your Social Security check. Yeah, you're going to get it. Sure. It's going to have all the dollars that you are owed. It's just that those dollars are going to be totally worthless.
Man, see, that's where he's going off. Okay? It won't be another dollar or whatever. All right? Totally worthless. It's going to be digital currency. You see? That's going to be the new way, the new system that they're going to switch to.
That's
when everything collapses, because it will collapse. That's what they're heading to. All right? It's what they're leading up to. A collapse.
Everybody who knows what's up is buying gold.
All right, we can stop right there because that's anyways, because I stopped it right there. All right, so yeah, that gold ain't going to matter either. Even it says when the enemies come to attack, they're not going to regard gold nor silver. You see? They're not going to care about any gold or silver or anything like that, what America has stored up, okay? They ain't going to be worried about, where's your Fort Knox? We're going to shoot the president if you don't show us Fort Knox. No, that's not there. All right, it's going, we about to roll on this place, okay? What I want? Okay, I think that's in Habakkuk 2, what I'm looking for. All right, where it mentions the heavy debt. Is that it? As a matter of fact, let's get this too, because while we're talking about the whole digital system, because it's here, okay? We're almost there, crossing that threshold, all right, where the digital currency is about to come into play. Okay, and Lord will, it be sooner, than we think. It says, I will stand upon my watch, Habakkuk 2:1, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And we're telling you plainly, the digital system is a little microchip device that they either put in your hand or to your head. The one that goes into your head connects to your brain, which controls your motor functions and all those other, other nervous systems. All right, motor skills. Okay, if you were paralyzed, you're paraplegic or whatever. Now all of a sudden you can move, run, jump, do this, do that, use devices with your mind, which they call telepathy and all these different things. The one in your hand is the one that connects you to the central bank digital currency system. The one that puts you on their grid, okay? The one that goes into your body, all right, elsewhere, other than your brain, anywhere else in your body, but in the scriptures known as your hand, right? The one that goes into your hand is the one that connects you to their power grid or to their grid. It puts you on their map. Now they have full autonomy over every aspect of your life from some remote location because they're able to control you. They control your money, all right? They control what you can and cannot do. They say you're doing too much of this, you have to stop doing it, because if not, they'll drop social credit point scores, or maybe they'll stop, your money, all right? It's in the bank, but you can't access it till you, do whatever or whatever. Maybe they never turn it back on. They have full control over you. They're able to make you do what they want you to do, because they have control over your finances, period. Because they can't trace every dollar, every paper currency. They can't trace what everybody got stuffed in their pillow, mattresses in the wall or whatever, right? Drug money. No, but that digital system, that digital currency, it's all running through their system. And when you put the device in your hand, everything about you, all your personal information, okay, your history, medical records, everything is on that device, including your financial status. See? And you will be linked in with them through their system. And there's no way out of it. Because if you take it, the Lord's going to destroy you. Because once they have you, they have you. So we're telling you plainly what it is. It's the microchip. All right? They're going to put in your body. You can't buy or sell, which is base level, but it also gives them power over you as your Lord. Okay? When you have one Lord, you Israelites, right? It's the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right, it's here. Can you not see it? Okay, we keep talking about it, a lot, because it's very important, man. The discernment, man. You gotta look at what these other camps are talking about, man. The system, the devices, the technology is here, but they're still telling you it ain't that. Okay, and then you got some camps that are cover their tracks by saying that they might do this, they might do that. Okay, anyways, though it tarry, wait for it, because surely it will come. Is it not here? Are we not watching it? It's already here, but it's not fully rolled out where it's mandatory. Okay? It's not going to tarry. Okay? And I want to jump down, all right, and to verse 5 and 6. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, which is Esau Edom. We know that. Oh, ain't nobody proud like Esau. Now they keep it at home, which goes back to his forefather, man. He's a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, okay? He's made his home wherever he could take over other nations and their territory. All right, even at times their identity. Okay, now they live in big mansions and things in the nature palaces or whatever. Okay, hiding from society, from the world. All right, what kind of a ruler? I wouldn't want to be a ruler who has to be a coward, a ruler who has to hide from his people because if they knew what I was doing to them, they'd kill me. I don't want to be that ruler. These people can't even enjoy their rulership because they're too demonic. They're busy worrying about how to kill nature, all right? Destroy health, destroy air, sea creatures, people, food supply, all these different things, okay? Too busy trying to enslave people further that they can't even enjoy their own rulership. You see? Says, who enlargeth his desire as hell, which is the grave, and is as death. That's why they're both mentioned there. And cannot be satisfied. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. How is that? We just mentioned. Be not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay? Mentioning from what we were pretty much the topic there from Revelation 13, 16, 17, and 18. The little device. Okay? That's how he's going to gather all people unto himself. By making his device mandatory. To trap you under his power. Okay? Says, shall not all these take up a parable against them, and a taunting proverb against them, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. All right? For all these unjust gains, all right? They talking about Russia and stuff, or what are these other places? All right? What about your goods unjustly gotten? You try to wipe away the history of America, how America was founded. The main thing, how America was founded. You try to wipe away their history, because it was built off the blood, sweat, and tears, rape, robbery, stealing, killing of Israelites. And you just try to walk over to the sunlight. We all just American people. We all just good people. I told them the other day, you're good people. You're good people. I like you. Stop it, okay? It says, and increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with the clay. How long? Not long. We're in the season of Idumea, but the season of Idumea is almost up. He knows he has a short time. That's why he's about to push this thing full blast. And to him that ladeth himself with the clay, which is what? Let's go into the word, the clay. The Hebrew word is ibat yat. Okay, ibat yat. Weight of pledges, heavy debts. So this is why they're not going to create another dollar, which is still going to create the same nonsense and confusion that the current dollar is doing. You think it's going to change anything because it's backed by gold? Okay, that's not why they're going to reset things to make a new dollar backed by gold. No, they're going to reset things. Okay, EMP strike, however they're going to do it, they're going to reset things so they can bring everything back online digital, which funnels everything through them. There is no escaping the new system that's coming. That's commissioned unto them on the left-hand side. When they reset this system, there is no escaping the new system that they're going to bring forth, because everything will be funneled through that digital system. There is no getting around that. And that's when the true men of the Lord are going to go off the grid. Okay? Remote travel. Cell phone, throw it in the river, because they'll probably be able to track you from your cell phone. Anything kind of device like that, tablets, laptops, they all gone. Leave it, throw it in the river, do whatever. Okay? It's just another way for them to trace and track you down. All right? Unless you've been watching too many Terminator movies, you're going to put it in a a potato chip, aluminum foil bag, whatever. Okay, whatever. You've been watching what's that other movie? Enemy of the State. All right? Whatever, man. Okay? When it's time to go off the grid, it's time to do just that. Okay? Call Allah, you Allah, Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, the system is here, but then everything's about to get devilishly worse. So it's time to even get your head in the game even more, because it's the time of Jacob's trouble now. When that digital system rolls up, we all know what time it is, man. Okay, it's time hell is about to be unleashed on earth. All right, persecution that we've been watching Esau moving and inching up to is about to now happen. Okay, but the reason why they're going to switch over this system is not to create a new dollar backed by gold. It is to bring online their digital system and their digital currency along with their digital device to enslave all humanity. See? And all the debt, they want to wipe away people's debt to give. That's the first incentive of the new system. We'll wipe away your debt, right? And they're going to have a microchip in front of you to take. See, you'll start over. Universal basic income. We'll pay you every month. You can just sit home. You can use your virtual reality. Like they do with those movies and stuff like that. Like the Fallout, okay, which I believe that originated from a game, but then made a TV show. But yeah, the little thing, the Pit Boy how it talks and stuff like that. Oh, little commercials and things of that nature. Like it sounds like it's from the 50s or the 60s or something like that. Yeah. That's your first incentive. But it's all to trap you and enslave you. Okay? And those that he does that to will be destroyed by the wrath of the Most High Power. All right. So yeah, I mean, I kind of hit that small point there. Wasn't meant to be long. All right, just mentioning what he said there. All right, there ain't no new dollar coming backed by gold, right? That's done away with. If it ain't done now, it ain't gonna come. When the system is reset, all right, everything will be by digital. All right, it will be digital system, digital currency, digital this, digital that, digital age. Okay, a fusion of man and machine, as Dr. Evil himself said. So we'll leave it at that. Lord willing, you were edified to next time. Yashua, I'm going to say shalom.